Los Angeles is a city that thrives on transformation. You've got constant reinvention, places being torn down and rebuilt overnight, and an endless push for the shiny, the new, the glamorous. But no matter how hard this city tries to push forward, it can't escape its past. And there are some buildings that prove it. These places weren't just forgotten, they were left behind for a reason. Buildings with stories so dark and disturbing they practically refuse to be erased. And they're still here, standing quietly between freeways and shopping centers, tucked behind fences or boarded up with signs warning you to stay out. But if you look close enough, these buildings feel like they're still alive, like they're keeping secrets no one ever wanted found. Los Angeles might be obsessed with the future, but these abandoned spots? They're reminders of the city's haunted, hidden, and sometimes horrifying past. Let's start with the Lincoln Heights Jail. This place is legendary for all the wrong reasons. It opened in 1931 and was meant to be a state-of-the-art facility at the time, but it quickly turned into a nightmare. During its run, it housed tens of thousands of inmates, including some of the most dangerous criminals in LA history. But it wasn't just a jail, it was a torture chamber for the marginalized. Zoot Suit riots? They packed hundreds of young Mexican-American men into cells here, protesters during civil rights movements, detained and sometimes beaten behind those walls. And when the jail finally shut down in the 1960s, it didn't fade into the background. It became something much weirder. For years, the city used it as a movie set, but even Hollywood crews refused to stay after dark. Strange sounds, freezing cold rooms in the middle of summer, shadows darting through the hallways. People working there were convinced the building was haunted. Even now, as it crumbles from age and neglect, there's a weight to it. A heaviness in the air when you get close, as if it remembers everything it witnessed and it's not ready to let go. Then there's the Linda Vista Community Hospital over in Boyle Heights. This place might look like just another crumbling old building from the outside, but step through its doors and the entire atmosphere changes. It opened in 1905 and operated for most of the 20th century. But as time went on, it developed a terrifying reputation. People started whispering about medical malpractice, patients dying under mysterious circumstances, and doctors who didn't seem to care. Nurses reported seeing shadowy figures in patient rooms. Visitors swore they felt someone watching them, even when the rooms were empty. And after it shut down in 1991, the hauntings only escalated. Paranormal investigators started sneaking in, capturing footage of unexplained voices, orbs of light, and even full apparitions caught on camera. One story goes that a nurse still walks the halls at night, checking on invisible patients. Security guards quit without explanation, and even urban explorers say it's the one place in LA they'll never go back to. It's not just eerie, it feels cursed. Now, let's talk about the Hawthorne Plaza Mall. This one hits a different nerve because it's not some 100-year-old relic. It was alive and buzzing not too long ago. Opened in 1977, it was a suburban dream come true. Packed with stores, food courts, escalators, neon lights, it had everything. But by the 1990s, the crowd started disappearing. Crime went up, sales went down, and one by one, the stores closed. Eventually, the mall was abandoned. And now, it's a silent, eerie shell of what it used to be. It looks like something straight out of a zombie movie. Dust-covered mannequins, empty glass cases, decaying escalators that lead to nowhere. People who've broken in talk about hearing footsteps echoing in the empty corridors, or a sudden drop in temperature that makes your breath visible, even in the summer. The mall has become a liminal space, half real, half dream. And the weirdest part? It's still used for filming scenes in horror movies, so it's kind of like Hollywood turned the mall's slow death into a set piece for nightmares. Next up is the Pacific Electric Substation in Silver Lake. It's easy to drive right by this building and not even notice it. It just looks like a broken down utility box. But back in the day, it powered the massive streetcar system that kept Los Angeles moving. This building was the heartbeat of the city's public transit. Now, it's just a decaying structure covered in graffiti and rust, but the locals swear it's not dead. People who've gotten close say they've heard a faint electrical hum coming from inside. No one knows where it's coming from since the building hasn't been operational in decades. Some even say the air gets weird when you're near it, staticky, like you're walking through invisible energy. And then there are the voices. More than one person has claimed to hear someone speaking through the walls. It's never clear, just faint echoes, like dispatch calls from a ghost city stuck in 1940, and no one wants to tear it down. There's a sense that disturbing it might wake something up, something better left alone. And then, there's that forgotten mansion in the Hollywood Hills. This one is like a ghost story come to life. It belonged to a silent film actor, someone whose name has long faded from the spotlight. The story goes that after a series of career failures, he locked himself inside and was never seen again. When someone finally came to check on him, the house was empty. No body, no clues, just a piano playing on its own and dinner still sitting on the table. Now, the place is a shell. Vines have overtaken the walls, the roof has partially collapsed, and inside it's like walking into another time. Chandeliers still hang from the ceiling. Old photographs are scattered on the floor. It feels like whoever lived there just vanished mid-sentence. People say they've heard music coming from inside, even though there's no power. One hiker claimed to see someone staring out from the upstairs window, but when they climbed up to check, the room was empty and locked from the inside. And maybe the most disturbing part of all of this? These buildings aren't hidden away in the wilderness. They're right in the middle of the city, right in the middle of our lives. You can be 5 minutes away from a Whole Foods or a movie premiere and still stumble onto one of these places. And it makes you wonder, why are they still standing? Why haven't they been torn down, cleaned up, and turned into something shiny and new like everything else in LA? Maybe because some stories are too dark to pave over. Maybe because the city knows there are ghosts here, real or not, and it's not ready to face them. These buildings are reminders of pain, of injustice, of lives lost and stories buried. And while we keep building up and moving forward, they're still here, silently watching us pass by, holding on to the secrets we'd rather forget.